What's the best betting advice for 2020? Okay, so what's the best betting advice you're going to get in 2020? Thought we'd do a little bit of a novelty, quick fire Q&A here on the beach and to answer a few common questions that people are often asking around betting and betting successfully. So let's get straight into it. How do you predict a winner in football or racing? And the answer is you don't. You don't try and predict a winner at all. You focus on value, pricing, maths, understanding how the market works, and you work backwards from there. Once you find value, that's where you will find profit. It's got absolutely zilch to do with predicting the future. What's the biggest danger to betting successfully? Okay, no question, emotion. You are your biggest obstacle to betting successfully. If you can't control your trigger finger, quite frankly, you've had it. The rest doesn't matter. Price, bookmakers, exchanges, none of it matters if you can't control yourself. Emotion and logic are right at the core of betting successfully. On top of that, obviously we all know about restrictions and extra charges that certain betting exchanges impose if you are a successful winner. They're a big danger, obviously, but you know they're not as big as the emotion factor. What's the number one strategy in betting? Taking value and finding value. It's the only thing that works. How do you deal with a losing bet? The same as everybody, get back on the horse. And that's one thing that I have learned over time through betting, trading betting odds, being a trader, business, anything, doing anything successfully. The thing that separates people that do things successfully and the people that don't is the fact that they get straight back on the horse. Get back on the horse, get on with it, take it on the chin, learn from it as much as you possibly can and move forward. Where's the best place to have a bet? Okay, I think it's quite obvious. A lot of followers know the answer to this. Obviously, a betting exchange. There are some instances where a bookmaker will provide more value. If you bet at value only with a bookmaker, they will restrict and make you leave very quickly. It's just a sad truth for 2020 is how things are going. So typically, you want to stick to betting exchanges. There is commission to pay on some bets. To be quite honest with you, I'm not going to bullshit you here. It depends entirely on what you're doing, how you're betting, whether you're looking to cash out. If the bookmaker are offering a large margin, it might be worth using a bookmaker and then getting restricted and taking the value and kind of like walking out the door with two fingers up on the way out. But typically betting exchanges, and the general public should really be aware of that because betting exchanges offer a far better proposition. I'm not going to bang on about it now. You can see it in a separate video if you don't understand that. Which betting tipsters are worth following? In my opinion, none. At the end of the day, betting tipsters are affiliates for bookmakers, so their whole proposition is to send you to poor value so you can lose some money and they get paid. It's a bit of a cycle, bit of a problem that goes round and round with tipsters, because if you've got a tipster that routinely finds value, then your account will be restricted and so will they. If you were to follow them, then they will become quite popular. The bookmakers will realise they become popular and the bookmakers will then slash the prices. So you don't actually win following the tipster. A lot of the time, all you do is grease the wheels to the bookmakers, which provides them with a paycheck to carry on providing you tips so you can carry on losing money. How should you choose the right size bets? Bets should always be in proportion to value, nothing else. Not in proportion to how much you're willing to lose. Not in proportion to, and basically, look, there's one thing, value. The more value there is, the bigger you should bet. Over the short term, your bets may not come in, okay? But if you continually bet at value over the longer period, the money will end up in your pocket. And that's why bookmakers try so hard to restrict and gub accounts. But, for you want to bet as much as you can, the more value there is on offer. So you probably need some kind of metric or a way of measuring value. Will statistics help punters win more often? Possibly, depends what you're doing. If you're modelling and how you're modelling markets, it's a very complex topic. It's not one that I am an expert on. And generally, data is, it's past data, it's old data. So in a digital age where everything's time sensitive, everybody's exposed to the same information, I tend to think statistics aren't really of much use. I'm sure there's some people that do make that work for them though, so I don't want to poo-poo that one too much. It depends on modelling and how you're modelling. What's the easiest sport to make money through betting? Quite frankly, none are easy. Whatever you do, you've got to find a significant edge, that value I keep talking about, and work back from there. Now, racing tends to be one of the sports that has more subjectivity to its pricing. Markets are more sentiment based, there is more opinion, there's more variables in the market because there's lots of different horses in each individual race. Unlike maybe, say, a tennis match where there's 2 players, or a football game where there's 3 outcomes: the win, the lose, the draw. So I would always opt towards horse racing, although I'm aware that I'm very biased already. So, find what works for you at the end of the day, because also it's important to do something that you actually enjoy doing, because otherwise you'll never pursue it long enough to succeed. So, have betting exchanges ruined bookmaking? I'm going to keep this short because this is one that's close to me. No, technology has ruined bookmaking for bookmakers, but that doesn't mean it's ruined betting for the general public. It means it's actually made it better for the end user. Exchanges are just basically the Amazon of the betting world. They are providing a better product for the end user. There's less commission, there's more freedom to bet, there's more options. You can win more regularly, and you're not going to be restricted on your stakes, or you're not going to be closed down for winning. So that's my opinion on that one. And do betting systems work? Can I recommend one? Well, the only real system that works is taking value. So aside from that, no, I don't have any betting systems that I'd like to recommend. There are a lot of variables in place. So I would say learn about the markets, learn how they function, learn what drives them, learn what moves them, and you'll be able to find value for yourself. I can't turn around and tell you something that will give you value right now. Well, I could. The chances of if I did that, then more and more people would exploit it, and there would be less value. And so the real value in learning to take value from betting is understanding how things function, where, why, and so you can be in the right place at the right time to exploit that for your own profits.